Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. So, what was going on back above ground after the murder of our bony Prince Charlie then?
Oh, well, back in the main courtyard, the main gate itself was on its last legs as the timber-fisted punches of Clinty and the other treemen rained against it like the punishing waves of a sea storm upon chalky cliffs. And all that was keeping it upright were the orcs on the other side, who were ostensibly buttressing it, although they may have just as easily been trying to knock it down from the opposite direction to get to the treemen themselves. Either way, the result was the same. The gate still stood, but the treemen hammering against the main gate was not the only thing that the orcs had to worry about, for the alcohol-powered clansmen of Clan McCoughlagan were now inside the castle and storming across the courtyard towards them. Thus, the orcs that were not directly pressed against the old doors found themselves fighting drunken clansmen from behind. The rear charge, the jeering, and the battle rattles of the clansmen had thrown the orcs into confusion, and the McCoughlegans were singing one of their drunken battle songs as they hewed at the greenskins.
Ken ye how an orc can fight? Aiken drum, ken ye how an orc can fight? Aiken drum, he can taste the fiery spite. Aiken drum, with toothsome grin and thinking slight. Aiken drum, fierce and foul in every fight. Aiken drum, but he'll be warmly done by night. Aiken drum.
And with this, the bloody melee was in full flow. But the orcs were not to be alone in their fight. They too had help coming. First were the goblins on the ramparts above, who shot arrows into the fight. A majority of the shots missed, some even striking their orc allies, much to the amusement of the goblins themselves. But still, a handful did actually strike the clansmen. But this was not where the real danger lay for the McCoughlegans, for after consuming the charred corpse of Doko McCoughlagan, the Chaos Hound, Spot, and Lady McDeath were about to make their way into the melee.
Out, damn Spot. Go get into the fight. Tear and burn and rip and kill. Let the blood fly with eerie bite.
And at his mistress's words, the two slavering heads of the Chaos Hound immediately began to tear into the McCoughlegans, tearing out the throats of any in reach, tossing severed limbs this way and that, and mutilating the corpses of the fallen. But it was not only the goblin arrows, the Hound of Chaos, and the orcs that now fell upon the McCoughlegans. Macbeth's lieutenant, Banquo too, emerged from the keep and immediately threw himself from the stone stairs and into the heart of the melee. Spittle trailing from the corners of his mouth and his eyes wide and unblinking. For a battle frenzy was upon him, and he dealt out death with every movement. He slashed, he kicked, he headbutted like a madman and killed clansmen left and right.
I see you, Jimmy, and you, come get some. You too, and you.
But although he tore through the drunken clansmen of Doko McCoughlagan like a wood axe through saplings, sheer weight of numbers saw him vanish under a wave of hacking blades.
Sport, damn Sport. Fitch, go get Banquo, that stupid rage.
And without a moment's hesitation, the Chaos Hound dove towards McDeath's fallen lieutenant. And he ripped and tore at the clansman until he'd cleared a circle of death around the fallen Banquo, taking a mighty toll in McCoughlagan blood.
Get away from me, mutt. I had him exactly where I wanted him before you stuck your sniffling snubs in.
At Banquo's words, Lady McDeath sighed with relief and summoned her familiar back to her side.
Come, Spot, leave the rest to the berserker.
And with that, Spot leapt away to his mistress's side as Banquo levelled his blade at the surrounding clansmen.
And what are you looking at, Jimmies? If you want a piece of me, I'll give you a piece of me.
And with that, he leapt back into the fray, slicing and bludgeoning and tipping the balance of the battle back in the favour of McDeath and his minions. But he didn't stop there. The problems of the McCoughlagans were still not yet over, for it was at this point that McDeath himself finally strode out of the keep and taunted the last few surviving clansmen.
I am here for blood, to step in so far that I can wade no more. And you, clansmen, if you but could, should run back to the old Sallyport door. But you won't, will you?
And at McDeath's words, the nearest trio of McCoughlagans began to ascend the stone stairs, stepping over the charred, chewed remains of the clan laird to get at the king.
Ach, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. I warn you, clansmen, no man or woman born can harm me. Ha! Bollocks, as the old giant had said. Ha! 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 Have that. I don't believe it. That blow should have killed you. I warned you, clansmen. Now it is my turn. Off with your head, I say. And what about you two? I warn you. No man or woman born can kill me. Will you fight me? Or will you back away? Ach, nay, stay away from us, you demon.
But as the two backed away, they were set upon by Spot and torn to pieces for their cowardice. And in this way, all of the McCoughlagans were either hacked apart by McDeath and Banquo, or torn up and gutted by the hound of Lady McDeath, as the goblins on the battlements above continued to rain down arrows onto all and sundry. But the fight for the castle was not over, and at the very moment that the last clansman exhaled their last breath, the main gate ruptured, crushing the orcs who'd been buttressing it beneath its weight, and opening up the castle to the treemen who'd been pummeling the gate to splinters. And behind them came the baying McCumans, the get of the murderous clan laird, Julia McCuman.